team in Montgomery and will run until October 13th. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun, ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors, your ride to freedom starts here.
Former CIA officer Jason Hansen here. As someone who's dedicated my life to protecting people, I know the importance of guarding what matters most. Right now, with global instability and the dollar's declining value, that means securing your financial assets with gold. For me, I trust Advantage Gold with my own investments. Give them a call at 800-900-8000 for a 100% free gold guide. Again, call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 today.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Yet another day of shutdown of the federal government. Let's jump right into what people are saying, starting with the Vice President of the United States in the White House briefing room yesterday. Take it away, Vice President Vance.
The point that it's a Republican shutdown. Look, it's obviously a Democratic shutdown. Just look at the vote totals in the House, look at the vote totals in the Senate, and look at the President of the United States' own action and conduct throughout this crisis. Nearly every single House Republican voted to open the government, Matt. Nearly every single Senate Republican voted to open the government last night. And even to their credit, a few moderate Democrats voted to open the government. That's not a Republican shutdown when nearly every single Senate Democrat votes to shut it down and every Republican voted to open it up. It's just obviously not true. Now, you can disagree about a number of things, but you can't disagree about the obvious fact that Republicans voted to open the government. The president stands ready to sign that opening of the government. We just need a few more Democrats to join us in that effort to open the government.
Exactly right. And even Hakeem Jeffries found himself caught up on CNN, of all places, saying, how could a CR that passed with Democrats, including Chuck Schumer, just a few months back, now be a partisan one, even though it was bipartisan beforehand? Vance, then the vice president, then leaning into the humor of all this. You see, and they constantly try to meme, and by they, I mean the left or the Democrats or Gavin Newsom just trying to be miserable about it. They're constantly trying to keep up with the memeing of the right. What they don't get is that the punchline should play into your policy. It should be funny, but it should also project your ideas. Why put a sombrero on Hakeem Jeffries? Number one, because it's funny. Number two, because he hates it, and that makes it even funnier. Number three, because it gets the point across. What is the major point the Trump administration is saying? You're giving health care to illegal aliens. By just saying that, I mean, that gets enough people stirred up. But then if you add the humor, and of course, the reaction from Hakeem and others trying to tell Vance, well, we're going to make fun of you, make you look like a baby, sounding like a baby. Oh, God. Here's the vice president responding to Hakeem being upset about being thrown in the sombrero.
Okay, go ahead and ask the second question.
So the president's been posting some images of Leader Jeffries and Senator Schumer.
I saw
recently. You've said that you're interested in good faith negotiations with these leaders, but what message does that send? Is it helpful to post pictures of Leader Jeffries in a sombrero if you're trying to have good faith talks with him?
Oh, I think it's funny. The president's joking, and we're having a good time. You can negotiate in good faith while also poking a little bit of fun at some of the absurdities of the Democrats' positions, and even poking some fun at the absurdity of the Democrats themselves. I mean, I'll tell Hakeem Jeffries right now, I make this solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop. And I talked to the president of the United States about that.
Yep. And then they did the stupid JD Vance memes that don't even make sense. Like, what's the point you're trying to get across? Like, something can just be funny, and there are JD Vance memes that are hilarious that Vance has shared himself. But moving on from the vice president to the president, this is what should have moderate Democrats, as well as their moderate Republican friends, especially in the United States Senate. This is what they should be most worried about. They should be most worried about Russ Vought teaming up with Donald Trump and unleashing Doge. Let's listen in.
They are shutting it down. We're not shutting it down. We don't want it to shut down because we have the greatest period of time ever. I told you we have $17 trillion being invested. So the last person that wants it shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse.
And so that was before the shutdown. Now that we're on day 2 of it, Trump put this out at 7 a.m. this morning. I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again. President DJT. So Trump doubling down on this threat. Will he have the time to make good of it? Well, the longer this shutdown goes on, the more this might become a reality. Now, thinking this through, maybe that's what some of the Democratic Party want. They want the wheels to fall off. And maybe they're assuming that, especially if they're not in leadership right now, if you're not Chuck Schumer, if you're not Hakeem Jeffries, say you're AOC or you're Bernie Sanders, what you might do is say, all right, Democrats are going to get blamed, but we can blame the Democrat leadership along with the Republicans. And then as more and more people are fired and more services are cut and all this stuff from a perpetual shutdown that can be made permanent if this goes on long enough, then maybe the public opinion polls will turn and say it's not the Democrats' fault, but it's now the Republicans' fault. They own this because they are the ones doing the permanent cuts. While we're just fighting for everyday people to have, health care and all things that are good that help take care of them. Maybe that's the idea. I don't know. I have a sense, though, that this will probably not last too long. Maybe a week at the most. Is that what I want? No. I was deeply disappointed when they leashed Doge, when they neutered the project that Elon brought in. Very upset, and I think they did it for political reasons. Because as much as people in the United States of America might be like, oh, the debt's too damn high, the deficit's too damn high, don't slay my sacred cow. And that continues to this day, Especially when I hear Democrats talking about cutting. Oh my God, they're cutting things. What would you like to cut? And I'm a pretty equal opportunity guy. I say cut across the board. Even the stuff I like. If we're going to do this, we're going to all do it together, and we're all going to swallow our medicine together. But that's not in the cards anytime soon. We'll keep going with the shutdown politics in a little bit. But there's a few other headlines I want to get to before we really dive deep into things. Trust in network media hits new low. This is from GALLUP. Network media used to be the place that you could, pay a publicist. And often if you are an elected official, you can pay a publicist or a talent agency or a booking agency, whatever label you want to give these folks, to book you on like all these networks. Whether it's like corporate radio or corporate TV networks or podcasts that aren't that organic, that have just been propped up. Yeah, so you can get taxpayers to pay for this, but the problem is all those like hits, all those media hits and appearances, they don't seem to be raising people's profiles in the way they once did. And even more importantly, they don't seem to be able to control narratives like they once did. And I'm not just talking about narratives of the present political moment. I'm talking about narratives that stretch back and back and back to the dawn of the age of the liberal boomer. Well, the age of the liberal boomer is dying. The histories you wove together, full of sweetness and light and platitudes and great victories in principle, supposedly, but a rotten tree bears rotten fruits. So as you're starting to see the dying of the light in the age of the liberal boomer, don't get me wrong, the age of the Gen Xer and the millennial will probably have plenty of sins and mistakes. But you're starting to see a shift. With all your controlled media, well, it's still controlled, but you don't have the same punch that you once did. It's kind of like Mike Tyson fighting Logan Paul, showing his ass to the entire world. That is what the liberal boomer, who has yet to retire, but especially the inheritors of the institutions of the liberal boomer, well, they're showing their ass to the world. And speaking of showing your ass, maybe not to the world, but to many of us here in Montgomery, Alabama, Caleb Taylor writes for 1819 News. It's their lead story this morning. Montgomery taxpayers pony up $60,000 to book Mayor Stephen Reed on TV, podcasts, and radio. No, wait, why am I paying for the mayor to go on and stump for Kamala Harris? I have a problem with the mayor going and stumping for Kamala Harris in the sense that he has every right to do it and say whatever he wants. Support whatever political party he wants. Why am I and so many others forced to pay for it? Well, it's not that much money. It's a whole year's salary for a lot of people, if not more. Caleb Taylor writes, Montgomery taxpayers are paying $60,000 annually in an effort to secure more television, radio, and podcast appearances for Mayor Stephen Reed. According to a contract between the city of Montgomery and guestbooker.com, obtained by 1819 News, the city of Montgomery recently began paying the booking site $5,000 per month to place Reed on television, radio, and podcasts. The annual $60,000 contract began in June 2024. It also has an auto-renewal provision to extend the contract. Since June of 2024, Reed has appeared on multiple national television shows as a surrogate for former Vice President Kamala Harris's failed 2024 presidential bid. He has also criticized Trump in numerous appearances while barely mentioning Montgomery and its numerous issues. In an appearance on News Nation in July 2024, Reid discussed how Harris's honeymoon period on the campaign trail would last. When they understand and they hear the story of how the vice president was brought up, when they hear what her convictions are, what her priorities are, I believe they will begin to like her and support her even more, Reid said in July of 2024. You have every right to go on News Nation and say stupid crap like that was just wrong and pathetic. Why are we paying for it? Why are taxpayers footing the bill for your PR firm? I want to know, by the way, who bought the URL guestbooker.com? That was smart. But Reid also appeared on ABC's Good Morning America in July 2024 to stump for Harris as well. He then appeared on News Nation again in 2024 of August to defend Harris's avoidance of the press. He also appeared on News Nation in October 2024 to discuss Harris's polling ahead of the election, right before Election Day. Reid most recently joined MSNBC to discuss Trump's so-called war on cities. If you want to read this for yourself and see these many media appearances in the last year, you can check it out. By the way, I haven't heard from the mayor's people that schedule him in a while. Leaves here every time. Oh, let's do this every month. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Most of the time, I'm too nice. City money should be for city functions. Taxpayer money in the city of Montgomery should not be for personal politics. Now, I wouldn't be surprised that this whole thing is a bit of a racket, and it's not just Mayor Reid doing this, but that's no excuse. To personalize this, I have to pay taxes in some form or fashion to the city. Why do I have to pay for you to get a booking agent? To say things that I fundamentally disagree with. Say things I would never vote for. And yet I am, and it's not just me. It's not just poor Joey. It's, of course, a lot of people. Not only who live in the city, but who come and work in the city and who pay all sorts of sales tax on stuff. Why are we forced to pay for this? It's not necessarily the dollar amount that's the point. The point is the principle. Why are you doing this? And is this it? Is this it? Is there any more taxpayer money going to things that really should be coming out of at least a campaign fund or something? Set up a super PAC. Why the hell do the people of Montgomery have to pay for this crap when you can't hire enough police officers? Why? (272-9228) if you want to join in on the conversation or the ranting. Thing is, Mayor Reid can pay all these folks $60,000 to have a booking agent. Honestly, that seems a little absurd. Maybe if you hired like one person to be your full-time assistant and as a contractor, and they're not only helping you book things, they help you across the board. You know, $60,000, a reasonable salary for a person to do a job that has many functions like that. But my sense of a lot of this stuff, especially in the political class, whether it's local, state, or national, is a lot of the times it's a legal grift. It's not really for services rendered or products given to one another. It's like, I'm helping out my buddy. And yeah, no, he booked me on stuff, and I paid him for that service. And it's like, no, you're just helping out your buddy under the auspices of you're buying a service. I wonder how much that goes on in this world. I wonder how much that goes on in the medical world, especially when it intersects with politics. So $60,000 to book Mayor Reed on TV, podcast, and radio seems like a reasonable figure until you realize $60,000 of taxpayer dollars to push warmed over progressive platitudes as you lick the crack of the National Party. Right up in there. What's it done for you? Has it raised your political profile? You going to win any big elections in Alabama other than the ones in this city? For even loss percentage when you didn't have much of a challenger? No offense, Barrett, but you got in late. And I know the whole backstory, but it wasn't enough. It was never going to be enough. Again, sorry, I like Barrett. And that's the thing. The age, the epoch, I'll spare the word dispensation given the conversation about Israel on the last show. But you know what I mean. The era of the liberal boomer is dying. And that is good news for people that are tired of that era and tired of the legal grift and graft, tired of the controlled messaging and narratives from a very siloed select few that really don't share your values and, in fact, disdain your values and see it as their mission in life to constantly needle you and pull you down. Well, that era is coming to an end. The fights will continue. It'll be ugly. But just keep in mind that you can go on the circuit, but it ain't what it used to be. Anyway, I got to hit my first break here. First, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, they're ready to help you fellas out if you just generally feel exhausted, tired, not sleeping well. You're seeing more fat gain, especially around the middle, more visceral fat. You are losing muscle mass. It's not like you stop working out. Still work out. It's not like you're eating more. You're eating fairly normal. You're just starting to see things don't work. And in particular, you're never in the mood. Like across the board, you just don't feel like yourself. You don't feel like a man. Now, there are a lot of men that will say, oh, I'm 50 or I'm 60. I'm 40. I'm a man. By the way, that guy made that famous. I finally got fired unceremoniously. Kind of was rude of him. Well, I'm 40. I'm a man. I don't need to go to the doctor. What are you talking about? Get by Montgomery Men's Health. They have solutions there that are going to be specific to you. It's not like they're just going to throw a bunch of generic fixes at you. They sit down, get to know you. Also do a blood test to get a testosterone score as well as a PSA score. And that test comes back the same day. And in fact, they have treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can make you feel better the very same day. Gentlemen, you only got one life. Procrastination's only going to make this worse. So get by there. And by the way, if you're in your 20s or 30s, you feel this way, definitely get by there. You shouldn't feel that way as a young man. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or you can always visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment. Today, when we come back, I believe we have Dr. Stuart Tankersley here in the studio with me.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is gov't from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. What is the smart way to buy a house in today's market? Now is a good time to buy since we now have a more balanced market than we've had in years. Here are the steps. First step, get pre-qualified with an experienced local lender. It costs you nothing to find out firsthand whether you can qualify for a home and how much that home loan will cost. Second step, hire a local realtor with lots of experience that can guide you, advise you, and be your advocate. We call those buyer agents. Third step, decide what your wants and needs have to be. Bedrooms, baths, floor plan, location, and school zones. Fourth, ask your realtor to line up homes that fit your price category and your location needs. Fifth, start actually looking inside these homes and see what is available and the cost of each property. For all of this information and step-by-step approach, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Your nightly news begins with Fox 20 News at 9.
We start Fox 20 News at 9 with breaking news.
Putting Montgomery news first. Covering your news from all sides. Fox 20 News at 9 is Montgomery's original 9 p.m. news. Live reports from your community. Don't wait till 10. See what's making news tonight and what you can expect tomorrow. If it's happening in the capital city, it's happening on Fox 20 News at 9. Coverage you can count on.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Jenny King, the king of clean, delivers reliable, high-quality commercial cleaning services through a proven franchise model that empowers local business owners. Jenny King's franchise owners receive the training, support, and resources needed to succeed, while clients benefit from tailored cleaning solutions backed by a global brand. Jenny King ensures consistent results, trust, and success for everyone we serve. Go to JennyKingCleans.com and find out how we can help you. That's JennyKingCleans.com.
Jenny King, the king of clean.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For tough, good-looking roofs, it's Tamco Shingles from Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For great folks and great prices, call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's a pretty good early October forecast with a high temperature up to about 84 today. Plenty of sunshine. The nights are fairly comfortable with the overnight low temperature tonight down to about 64, mostly clear skies. More sun Friday and Saturday, high temperatures generally in the lower 80s. The coolest morning, I think, will be Friday morning around 60. And perhaps some widely scattered showers on Sunday, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. Still, though, it is possible. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And in the studio with me is Dr. Stuart Tankersley. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here, because I had a feeling if I was flying solo all day, I might have been continuing to rant like that. But
well deserved. I think that Trump's statement is very interesting, given the fact that people don't recognize it. They think of U.S. aid or some supporting foreign wars or something like that is a big part of the deep state. But there is no bigger part of the deep state than the largest agency we have, which is HHS. And the war going on now to get rid of Kennedy is epic. It's like what they did to Roy Moore. I mean, It is brutal. And we've got to withstand it, because I don't know who could replace him, but it is very interesting times.
yeah, they're going after him and Hegseth. Like, what did you think of the Pentagon and say the centers of medical power might go after people that want to change them a bit?
Yeah.
It tends to happen. But before we get into the national stuff, piggybacking off of what I was just ranting about, you're a Montgomery citizen. And how long have you lived here? I mean, most of your life, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, what do you make of this news that just broke that the mayor's paying a booking agency $60,000 to book them across media with taxpayer dollars?
Well, I read the article out from 1819, and he's going around recruiting or talking about issues that aren't necessarily involving Montgomery. And having served on the ethics commission, I don't know if the city council gave him in his contract the permission to do stuff like this, but it seems like somebody needs to consider, if that's not the case, ethics complaints. I don't know. Hadn't read into it other than that.
Yeah, I just saw this morning, was just reacting in real time. Honestly, I'm not that surprised at all, but it is frustrating nonetheless when it's like, I disagree with you. I don't like the things you say. You probably feel that mutual thing about stuff I say. But, like, I don't force you to pay for me. Dadgummit. And that's just that's been a problem since I guess I was a kid. And, you know, my dad was a Republican because he started his own business and he hated paying taxes. And I think I inherited that from him. Like, there's a difference between payers and takers when it comes to taxes. And it's one thing if you provide a true service to the federal government or the state government. It's another thing when you got that cushy job where performance doesn't matter that much. And you see that it's rife within all these institutions. In particular, what I want to talk to you about is the MAHA agenda. How's it going? How is it being followed through? But I'd imagine if you look at HHS, that there are so many gigs in there that are useless. Like,
Sacred cow after sacred cow.
Right? Do they actually advance medical science? Do they actually advance medical and health well-being for folks? Like,
the overwhelming answer is absolutely not. And that was what Jay Bhattacharya, who is the new National Institute of Health director, said in his hearings for his position back in February, is we have lost sight of our objective and our chartered goals. And you look at the health of our country that's just plummeted. And that's why RFK, they couldn't lay a glove on him a couple of weeks ago in that 3-hour hearing, because all he had to say was, y'all been up there, some of you 25 years, and y'all been overseeing this train wreck, and I'm here to help correct it. Because, and back in the spring, there was a big poll showing that 80 to 95% of people, Republican and Democrats, support what his goal is to make America healthy again. We're being poisoned with the food and who knows, maybe the water with the fluoride. But the fact is that, and the vaccines, finally, we're going to take a look at that. That was the biggest thing. Everybody made a big hubbub about Tylenol, but they missed what he was talking about behind that. The big media didn't want that revealed, but they said, we're going to be looking at vaccines. And something clearly is got to change the trajectory of our country for health.
what did you make of the Tylenol announcement? It seemed like, I don't know, even Trump, as he was doing a fairly meandering announcement, at the end of it turns and goes, sorry if I ruined your day, Bobby, because it looked like Bobby Kennedy had a very official, like, big statement to put out. And then I think you're right, because it's all, maybe this was a tactic. All the Tylenol talk, especially for Trump, like, the pregnant woman, she needs to be tough. I mean, if you got a real bad fever, but be tough. Like, it was just, maybe that was to distract from that announcement of we really are looking at the vaccines.
I think Trump knew what he was doing.
Okay. So, like, because I didn't know on first blush, but then it was hilarious to find what Tylenol had put out 5, 6, 7 years ago. Like, yeah, we haven't tested this enough. If you're pregnant, probably don't take it.
Well, yeah, right. They've said that Tylenol, which is the branded acetaminophen, had said that back in 2018 after a Harvard study. But clearly they let the word be known in that press conference that vaccines are going to start to be looked at for the first time. You know, not a single vaccine on the schedule ever. And this was a part of the Senate hearing 2 weeks ago with the unfortunate Dr. Scott, but none have been placebo-controlled trialed. Zero.
None.
Well,
and especially something that's like, what if problems develop not a week out or 2 weeks out, but years out?
Right.
So how are you need to be tracking people in controlled ways over long periods of time to really see what these things are doing.
Right. Well, I hope that vaccines are beneficial without safety concerns, of course. I hope that proves to be the case, but they hadn't proved it.
Right. Well, how did this come about? Like, when did they get this impunity? This, like, you couldn't even touch them.
Right. In 86 it started in the late 70s when they realized they had a problem. And then in 86, Reagan signed the law that allows them complete immunity. But if there's fraud, and there's been plenty of fraud with regards to the COVID shots, but if there's fraud, hopefully we can do something about it. But it's amazing that they actually said that. That was the big news to me out of that press conference last Monday.
And what's this other drug they're saying might help with autism?
Yeah, I hadn't read into it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's on all this stuff. Everybody has the hot take in the moment, and I'm like, no, just especially with something like medicine, talk to your doctor. Like, literally think this through, and if you don't get a sufficient, talk to a different doctor. But like, actually think this through. And I worry sometimes, folks, like you saw with some pregnant women, I'm going to take all this acetaminophen and all the Tylenol I want because Trump said don't do it. And I think that is one of the worst aspects of our media these days, where it's the emotional, dumb reaction and not actually thinking things through, especially something as important as your health.
Yeah, and pregnancy, kind of important.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
So we have a clip here. You sent it to me this morning, and Citizen Free Press actually picked it up too. Their whole headline of this was Fauci lied, people died. And this is about the claim that the COVID jab would give natural immunity, help boost that natural immunity. So, Joe Rogan, if you already got it, that Sanjay Gupta was telling you, like, if you already got it and you have natural immunity, still get the shot. It'll help. It'll boost it even more. Right?
And Fauci, 10 years ago on C-SPAN, was asked about if a caller asked him, I just got over the flu. Do I need the shot? And he said, you've got the ultimate shot. You got the infection.
Right.
And so natural immunity, it's so many things that we've known for decades, centuries, that about our immune system, common sense, if you will, we're just thrown out the window. I mean, we're in the greatest die-off in our country's history, and people just want to play around the edges without going to the underlying problems, which starts with the public health apparatus that is not doing us.
This gentleman
favors.
from the Catholic Medical Association, who is this? I don't have it captioned.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but he's an expert and says, but they had evidence, and this is what Dr. Stephen Hatfield, who is a bioterrorism expert, who is now one of the lead advisors to Kennedy. He wrote a big, very important article in May of 23 in the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons. They knew the evidence of these shots in 21, and they hid it. And then he said that 2 or 3 weeks ago on Bannon. But they hid the data, knowing what was happening with these shots.
Well, here's this, to reiterate what you're saying, here's a doctor from the Children's Health Defense, and it looks like he's with the Catholic Medical Association. Let's listen in.
We do also know for sure, and I've seen that people who had COVID had natural immunity and then got boosters or got their first shot after that actually did worse when they got COVID the second time.
Yeah.
And, Dr. Fauci said, if you have natural immunity, still take the shot because it's additive. And I've learned from experience, it's not additive. What happens is the mRNA, the vaccine antibodies seem to take preference to attach themselves to the virus. And then your natural antibodies, which are better at killing the virus, are blocked from attacking the virus. So actually you get lower immunity as a result of that situation. And so therefore, absolutely, if you've already had COVID and you have natural immunity, taking a shot after that actually makes things worse.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Nothing new there.
No, but it's like, I feel like we just have to keep saying it, because there's still folks, unfortunately, going out there and getting this. Now, when the Democrats were getting all hysterical with Bobby Kennedy, you're denying this from people and stuff. The good news is actually the vast majority of people are not going out for these boosters, right?
Right. No question. I think I read this 4 or 5 months ago that less than 0.01% of Americans are fully up to date on their shots. And I think that means you would have like 11 by now, 12 maybe. But less than 10% of people of adults are getting these shots.
What did some of these, I mean, the short answer might be they're just bought and paid for politicians. But like, what did some of these folks think they're defending? Like, I'm baffled by it sometimes.
Yeah, you should be baffled because it doesn't make sense. It just we threw the regulations, policies, and procedures out the window, and we bought into the scare. That was their number one weapon of choice to put people in the position where they have to accept what they're told. And they bought into it. It really goes to the spirit of our country and culture as to how we could have thrown out so many tried and true measures. And like I've said before, I've treated directly probably over 2,000 patients, 0 deaths all the way up to age 95, 0 deaths, 3 hospitalizations of 3 days or less. It's just an eminently treatable illness. And I would strongly encourage people, when you get a head cold for the foreseeable future because of the evil of the spike protein, please start doing your nasal rinse with betadine and gargling. There was a study, I think, in 21 in the middle of Delta that showed if people would do the gargle with mouthwash for 30 seconds 3 or 4 times a day, and then the betadine nasal rinse 3 or 4 times a day, it reduced hospitalizations, I think, by 81%.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, ivermectin has many dozen mechanisms of action against the spike protein, the inflammation it causes, and the blood clotting that it causes, but eminently treatable. And so very important that people understand right at the onset of head colds, you must assume that. And please knock it out.
Now, in the midst of this shutdown, one of the arguments the Democrats are making, and I've been suggesting to Democrats, where are the smart Democrats arguing about healthcare policy? That said, what they're arguing about is like, how did, like, to save and really take care of people's health in this country, we must have millions and billions of dollars of subsidies direct to insurance companies.
Yeah.
It's like, this seems like I used to be on Obamacare. I remember getting the bare bones plan, did not get the tax penalty. I'm like, this is crap. And I've heard all sorts of, when my mother was a nurse, not even on the floor, working at a local surgeon's office, the Medicaid patients were the worst in the sense that they show up once. If they don't follow up, they don't do the procedures and go pick up the drugs you told them to. And so a lot of health outcomes, even if you're spending all these Medicaid dollars, are not helping. And yet, so help me understand this, because it seems to me the system itself is sort of addicted as well to like this infusion of cash that ratchets up. You think inflation's bad, folks. Look at, in particular, education, higher education, and healthcare. It just always goes up. So I would like a better healthcare system, but what's being on offer of like, well, just spend more money on the current system we have seems like, okay, we have some good things in our medical system, no doubt, but it seems like this is a very costly and ineffective way of going about it yet again.
Well, of course, what have they succeeded in? I'm from the federal government, and I'm here to help kind of a thing. But remember when we were forced to take Obamacare with the unilateral action by Barry Hussein Obama that 30 million Americans didn't have insurance, and so we must pass this bill, shove this bill down your throat. And now, effectively, I was reading a report a couple of months ago where effectively 100 million Americans don't have insurance.
Wow.
And so maybe we need to scrap the whole idea. And, the fundamental thing that you always go back to is freedom. The classical definition of freedom is the ability to put responsible constraints on yourself. In other words, you get to choose to make responsible decisions. And our culture, I don't think is, we need to revisit the fundamentals.
I think you're 100% right. There's an old, I've mentioned it before, but there's an old H.L. Mencken line about physicians. And what they find is most patients come in, and this is in the 20s, he's writing this, come in and they want like medical absolution. They don't want penance and having to go out and actually do things themselves. No, I ate like crap and I didn't exercise for 40 years. Now give me a pill that works, doc.
Yeah, that was back when, right as at the turn of the last century, when Rockefeller Foundation and these people started shutting down the medical schools that weren't going to be playing the game of medicine. Our profession is named medicine for a good reason, unfortunately. But they shut down the functional medicine type approaches. The Chinese have had millennia of Chinese medicine. You would think that after a few 100 years that they would prove something to be effective or not. But the functional medicine type of approach to things, I think, is a much more appropriate thing that we need to orient and pivot to. But fundamentally to that is we need to teach the medical students and residents and now doctors as to what the scientific method fundamentally is.
And we got another break coming up, but I'm just kind of firing questions as they come to me. As somebody who I'm, it's never enough. Like, and it's not necessarily a body dysmorphia thing. Like, oh, look in the mirror and you're not fit enough. It's more like work harder, exercise more. So when I see like Hegseth and Bobby Kennedy put out their challenge of doing 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups in 10 minutes, part of me is like, damn, I don't know if I could do that. Maybe the pull-ups are going to be hard, but I'm kind of like, no, that's good. And I'd imagine that's good for your health. Don't get me wrong. There are athletes and folks that do crazy stuff and it's not good for them. But generally speaking, is this idea of getting out, exercising, being fit, it's not an aesthetic thing. It is probably pretty crucial to your underlying health long-term if you are, able to actually function in the world.
Yeah. I probably told you this back in February of 20, when I was put on a working group for the National Guard. One of the first things I did was call the infectious disease guys up at UAB. It was on a Wednesday afternoon, and he was kind enough to give me 30 minutes. And one of the first questions I asked is, why are we not screaming for people to start doing nasal saline rinses? To which the answer is, nobody makes money on salt water. So I think we're to an understanding as to what motivates us.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's and oftentimes it's not even conscious. That's what's so pernicious about it. Insidious.
Right. That's right. I don't think the vast majority of doctors were doing things purely to make money. No, not at all. I think that they just there's no way that Harvard and UAB and wherever else is in CDC's wrong. We just have blind faith in the institutions that have failed us for generations, and now it's very clear. If you read the article from last week in 1819, I wrote, they have failed us in epic ways, and yet they are fighting RFK Jr. tooth and nail to get him removed. There was a bill filed a week ago by one of the Democratic congressmen to impeach him, but we've got to keep him there. He is a fighter for truth and health, and it's wonderful that he's there and doing the job he's doing. Jay Bhattacharya, McCary, all these guys are bringing a whole new perspective that is way overdue, kind of like Hegseth did on Monday. It was he was right out of Central Casting. That was just awesome.
Yeah, I was about to ask as a follow-up, what do you think of, like, we don't want fat troops in particular. I don't like seeing fat generals walking around the Pentagon with all of those generals sitting there, not all of them exactly skinny.
Yeah, I think they got rid of a few of them the week before. But yeah, I mean, the whole point is, who are we? What is our stated objective? What is our goal? Health has not been at the paramount picture for CDC for a while. It seems like.
In your time serving in the armed forces, did you start to see the change over your career of kind of the loosening of standard, the political concerns, political correctness stuff start to sneak in?
Oh, yeah, no question.
Yeah. I mean, is there a moment you remember, or is it just kind of a slow realization?
Well, my last AT was over at Camp Shelby in Mississippi, and we were by Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of Defense. He told all units anywhere in the world they had to take a 3-hour mandatory session with all people in that unit, had to sit into an auditorium, and there had to be respect. There was no rank in the seats. Everybody had a clear voice that anybody could, as long as they were respectful, could ask anything. And it was really eye-opening because we educated the troops on a lot of the historical perspective of things. I promise you, I never saw racist, that's what Lloyd Austin and Biden said. Racism in the force was a major problem. I never saw it, certainly not what they foresaw. But it was wonderful because they afforded us the opportunity to give a reality check to these younger soldiers who didn't know the basics. Like less than 3% of Southerners owned slaves in 1860, and 70% of sharecroppers were white. Things like that. And they were amazed that they had just been indoctrinated into believing that everybody hated them, when everybody was out against them, and there was no point in trying or being, to assert yourself and be all you could be, because the system's stacked against you, and so you're a victim. It's just evil.
Yeah, it is. And I think it leads to victimhood without any actual true sense of salvation, liberation. And don't get me started on the whole social gospel sort of thing about through our politics and changing of culture. Give me a break, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get rid of that victim mentality, understand your salvation ain't here on earth. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's straight out of the pit of hell.
Yeah. What? We got a quick break. Be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586 368, Equal Housing Lender.
Big news! Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital has a new name. But don't worry, everything you love is still the same. Now they're Pike Road Animal Hospital, still at 5148 Troy Highway, still the same great team you've trusted for years. Same friendly faces, same expert care, just a new name, and still offering boarding, grooming, and doggy daycare. Pike Road Animal Hospital, formerly Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital. New name, same heart. Compassion you know, care that you trust.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
So Dr. Stuart Tankersley has to go here in just a second. I would highly encourage folks, if you missed it on 1819 News, just look up Stuart Tankersley. Will we now have COVID shot accountability? And I guess my final question to you, and I mean, we've talked about this off air, but who does need to be held accountable here at the state level? If you had a magic wand.
Yeah, I think that it starts with the hospital association, the medical association, the public health, and then you got to get into the committees like the Senate and the House health committees. Those guys would not allow those two guys, Senator Melson and Paul Hill out of Dothan area. They just wouldn't allow for any contrary. They didn't have the public hearings. I think they were morally obligated to. But COVID was one lie stacked on another lie. And here we are now, 5.5 years later, in the greatest die-off in our country's history. People know it. 2 weeks ago, Rasmussen had a poll that showed that 56% of Americans, I forget the exact terminology, but basically 56% of Americans believe that the COVID shots have something to do with all this excess deaths. We're winning. People know. Yeah. But really, one of the other things that's rarely mentioned is there is this thing called the Federation of State Medical Boards, and they are a private entity that rules from on high. They're from out in Texas, and they rule from on high, and they have direct control almost over the medical associations in the states. And by the way, the medical associations are an arm of the AMA. And I think the last I read was not even 10% of doctors are members of the AMA. Most of them are largely those who are academicians in university settings. But we just got to get back to the fundamentals of what health is, what a physician is. It's not a medicine dispenser. It's much more than that.
Well, Coach, I hope you're listening. Our future governor, I hope you're listening. I think a lot of Alabamians would love a leader that empowers folks to see through the vision you just suggested. So I always appreciate your time. Good seeing you.
And help America get healthy again.
Amen. We'll be right back, folks.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Another vote to try and end the government shutdown came up short last night in the Senate. The Democrats are not backing away from their insistence about $1.5 trillion in new spending, including for health care for illegal immigrants. And the Republicans say that they simply will not budge on that they've passed a clean continuing resolution that adds no new priorities from either side, and that Democrats should go along with that. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the administration is working hard to end the shutdown. With the Senate out until Friday, the shutdown will be in effect at least until that time. Police in northern England are calling it a terrorist attack. They say an assailant drove a car into people outside a mosque, then got out and began attacking them with a knife. 2 people were killed, 4 seriously injured. It happened on the holiest day of the Jewish year. This is SRN News.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's a pretty good early October forecast with a high temperature up to about 84 today. Plenty of sunshine. The nights are fairly comfortable with the overnight low temperature tonight down to about 64, mostly clear skies. More sun Friday and Saturday. High temperatures generally in the lower 80s. The coolest morning, I think, will be Friday morning around 60. And perhaps some widely scattered showers on Sunday, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. Still, though, it is possible. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Governor Kay Ivey signed a proclamation Wednesday declaring October as HBCU Month in the state of Alabama. HBCU Month celebrates the state's historically black colleges and universities' legacy and impact. In 2022, Alabama became the first state to dedicate an entire month to historically black colleges and universities. Alabama is home to 14 HBCUs, the most of any state. 2 big football games are happening Saturday as part of Montgomery's official HBCU Classic weekend. It's homecoming for Alabama State University. The Hornets will take on Bethune-Cookman at 2 p.m. Saturday evening, the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic kicks off at 6 p.m. at historic Crampton Bowl. The Alabama Department of Revenue is warning of a texting scam involving tax refunds. The scam text claims that your tax refund request has been approved, then asks for personal and financial information. Do not click on any links in the text or reply. The Department of Revenue never sends out text asking for personal information. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hey, this is David Little from Tucker Pecan Company. We've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for over 10 years now, and the results have been amazing. Every day we have new customers that come in that have heard us on all the different radio stations that we advertise on. If you want to help your business grow, the best way to do it is through radio advertising through Blue Water Broadcasting. They do a great job in promoting our business and helping us grow our business, and hopefully they can help you grow your business too.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The Tears family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store. And have you tried the over-the-counter products for your foot pain and nothing seems to work? If that's you, it's time to check out the Good Feet Store. Stop the pain that's stopping you. Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today, or just stop by the store nearest you.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So we're still in the middle of a shutdown. While the U.S. is also saying, the White House is also saying the United States is in quote-unquote armed conflict with the drug cartels. Well, you didn't know? Seemed pretty obvious to me when they started blowing those boats up. But since we're in the middle of a shutdown, let's hear from one of our great, let's say, theatrical performers on the political stage. Don't always agree with the man, but man, he is good at what he does. John Kennedy, senator from Louisiana. Here's his explanation of why we're in the middle of a shutdown.
Now, we've had a few shutdowns before, and every shutdown is different, but most shutdowns are a combination of both policy and politics in varying degrees. This shutdown, in terms of policy, makes absolutely no sense.
Mm-hmm.
None. What we have proposed to our Democratic colleagues and the minority leader, Senator Schumer, is to make no changes to the current budget. We just want to continue the current budget and keep government open until just before Thanksgiving to give us more time to negotiate a permanent budget. We did that many times when President Biden was president and when the Democrats had the majority. In fact, we did it 13 times. Not only have Republicans done it, but Democrats have routinely done it. But this time, the Democrats have said, no. We want more. And you may be thinking, okay, That's reasonable. What do you want? Well, it's not reasonable. In effect, what the Democrats are saying to us is that we're going to close government unless you Republicans agree to make it bigger. We don't want the status quo. We want you to commit to spending $1.5 trillion more than you're spending now. And we, the Democrats are saying, are going to tell you how to spend it.
And so the question becomes, how could Trump permanently reshape the federal government, the United States federal government, if this shutdown continues along too long? As I played earlier, Trump said before the shutdown, we don't want it to shut down because we have the greatest period of time ever. I tell you, we have 17 trillion being invested, so the last person that wants to shut it down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. A shutdown does not necessarily hand a president new powers, but instead concentrates discretion to the White House and Office of Management and Budget over what the executive branch continues operating on or ending. Under the Anti-Defamation Act, a federal law that guides the government through shutdowns, federal agencies are not permitted to spend funds, the Government Accountability Office outlines, except for a limited set of missions, such as performing constitutional duties. The executive branch is charged with interpreting those exceptions. Office of Management and Budget Director Russell Vought became very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do in any other way. Trump continued on Tuesday before the shutdown. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people. Again, later that day, Trump reiterated he did not want a shutdown to unfold, but said that a lot of good could come from it in order to weed out government overspending, noting, quote, we'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected. A lot of good can come from shutdowns. Trump said, we can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want, and they'd be Democrat things. But they want open borders. They want men playing in women's sports. They want transgender for everybody. They never stop. They don't learn. We won an election in a landslide. This figure who runs the Office of Management and Budget, who also helped write Project 2025, Russ Vought, declared an imminent government shutdown Tuesday evening ahead of the deadline, pinning blame on Democrats' insane policy demands, which include $1 trillion in new spending. You just heard Kennedy suggesting some of that. Anticipated layoffs and program cuts amid the shutdown follow Trump's ongoing mission to gut the federal government of fraud, corruption, and overspending, which first hit the nation's radar in the early days of the administration with Doge. But, of course, that got pulled back and put on a leash. So maybe the Doge is off the leash. Now, Democrats like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer will say, we're not giving stuff to illegal immigrants. These things the Republicans keep pointing to, we're not giving health care to illegal aliens. We're not doing that at all. What are you even talking about here? You just lying Republicans? You have no idea. Well, let's go to the vice president, who is looking better and better as a leader by the day. This was the vice president of the United States talking to, is that Ben Shapiro, Little Ben? And I'm trying to get past the point where Little Ben says all his stuff so we can get right to the vice president. Let's listen in.
State aid that can be reimbursed by the federal government that goes to illegal immigrants. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So there's always a sleight of hand. The Democrats play tricks with words
here, but there are two very specific ways, and you can look at the legislative text, two specific ways in which the Democrats are asking us to give taxpayer-funded health care benefits for illegal aliens. The first of which is, if you're an American citizen and you've been to a hospital in the last 4 or 5 years, you probably notice wait times are especially long, and there's a very good chance that there's a person who's ahead of you in line who is an illegal alien. The reason that is because under the Biden administration, we would pay all of the hospital benefits for illegal aliens if they went to an American hospital. Now, that's bad for American citizens who want to use those services. It's also bad for American taxpayers who don't want to pay for illegal aliens to use those services. So that we turned that program off in President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. The Democrats want to turn it back on, and that would cost, again, hundreds of billions of dollars. There's a second way they want to pay for healthcare benefits for illegal aliens. And to get into the weeds a little bit, if you remember, the Biden administration did mass parole. So they took millions of illegal aliens. They would wave the magic wand of amnesty and say, no, these are no longer illegal aliens. They are now parolees because we're not going to deport them. And then they would give those parolees healthcare benefits funded by taxpayers. We turned that off as well, and Democrats want to turn it back on. So it's just a matter of fact. As much as they try to change the words that they use and hide from the reality of the policy, it's a matter of fact that there are two programs that total hundreds of billions of dollars, taxpayer-funded healthcare benefits for illegal aliens. The Trump administration turned it off. Democrats want to turn it back on. And it's not just that we have a policy disagreement here. As crazy as that one is, it's not just they want to turn those benefits for illegal aliens back on. It's that they're willing to say that our troops aren't going to get paid until Donald Trump relents and turns those benefits for illegal aliens back on. It's preposterous. It's bad policy. But we also are not going to negotiate with hostages here, which is why the government is shut down right now, because the Democrats have taken it hostage. And if they want to turn it back on, there is a clean, easy piece of legislation that nearly every Republican supports. They should just vote for it, turn the government back on, and then we can have the debate about healthcare policy that they seem to want to have.
So,
I like having that guy on the team and helping to lead the team alongside Trump. So how are Democrats doing second day into this? Well, apparently House Democrats struggled to attract eyeballs to a live stream meant to rally the party faithful over the government shutdown, which at times drew only a couple of hundred viewers, despite a cast featuring some of the most charismatic members and top influencers within the Democratic realm. So, I'm happy with my few hundred once in a while, but it's, if you're a major party and a major institution like you're the House Democrats and you can only get a few hundred folks to watch your live stream where you're trying to rally the troops against those dastardly Republicans that are stealing your Medicaid and your Medicare, and yet, they get a few hundred people? It was originally supposed to be a 24-hour stream from 2 p.m. Tuesday to 2 p.m. Wednesday. House Democrats took turns trying to blame Republicans for the partial government shutdown, which began at 12 a.m. Wednesday. But the GOP and White House quickly seized on the lackluster ratings. Just 400 people are watching, and they're currently trying different types of candy. I want to thank so many of you who are tuning in today. National Republican Congressional Committee War Room Director Ben Peterson chided Tuesday afternoon, hours before the shutdown took effect. Also, chat is disabled. Yeah, no kidding. I'd imagine it would be. Despite the best efforts of House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who put the live stream on his YouTube page, Democrats ended the round-the-clock bid after about 11 and a half hours. By contrast, a rival White House feed showcasing past Democratic opposition to shutdowns peaked at more than 100,000 views. And this is the thing. The Democrats continue not to be the party of, this new media. And they seem to be ahead of the game during the Obama era, and somehow, some way, they slowly but surely lost control of the narrative of the conversation. And this is what happens. You get so reliant on institutions that are essentially untouchable, that have prestige out the wazoo, or something like that. And you get used to kind of ruling the roost. And you don't innovate. In fact, I've heard it said that experience can be the enemy of innovation. There's a lot to he said, for experience, but it can also be the enemy of innovation. And when you're used to be able to run to the normal institutions you would run to, and they are now, well, don't have quite the punch, as I said earlier, then, well, good luck fighting this fight. And I say Godspeed to President Trump, Vice President Vance, and anybody else actually staying strong on this issue. Again, 272-9228 if you want to join the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. I guess I'm flying solo for the rest of the day. This part of the program brought to you by Dillon Rings. And they're at Dillon Rings. They are ready to help you out as a full-service jewelry shop. Josh and Leslie Ryder ready to serve you how they can. And, of course, I'm looking at, as we change into the month of October, that happened yesterday, that one of the birthstones used for October is pink. Is that tourmaline? Tourmaline? In spite of its American roots, tourmaline is biggest market in 1890-1910 was China. Much of the pink and red gem from San Diego County in California was shipped to China because of, well, the empress there in China at the time was especially fond of its, I have to say, lovely color. Pink tourmaline is thought to embody love and is associated with compassion and gentleness. So if you are an October baby, like I think tomorrow might be my niece's birthday. Maybe I'll stop by Dillon Rings, get her something special. And so if you're an October baby, get by. They have the means of making something for you. Custom design work, second to none there at Dillon Rings. I'm sure they will have some pieces in stock already made. And of course, they can do much more than make you a piece of jewelry or sell you a piece of jewelry. I'll tell you a little more about how they are a full service jewelry shop a little later in the show. But y'all stop by 119 Brown Springs Road right here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this? Anybody there? No? Okay. Have a good day. But if you want to try back, it's 272-9228. And another thing that's happened out of this shutdown that is just plain as day is the internal fight within the Democratic Party. And that's what some folks have been just making very clear. And I think that actually is what's going on here. It is an internal fight. The Democrats who are up and coming, who see their leadership sucks, about 18% approval rating, something like that. It's ridiculous. So the folks that are the folks up and coming who are tired of being told to shut up and sit down, well, they're taking the lead on this as the old leadership, the dying liberal boomer, is, well, fading from relevance. So here's AOC making that kind of clear.
And I saw some Republican members of Congress saying, oh, well, if we have this shutdown, it's because of AOC. Well, if that's the case, my office is open and you are free to walk in and negotiate with me directly. Because what I'm not going to do is tolerate 4 million uninsured Americans because Donald Trump decided one day that he wants to just make sure that kids are dying because they don't have access to insurance. That's what's not going to happen. And so if those senators think that we're having a shutdown because of me, they're free to enter my office and negotiate, because what we're not going to do is allow all of millions of people in this country to not be able to afford their insulin and their chemotherapy. So come strike a deal with me if that's what they really think is going on.
Now, of course, this is very absurd, very silly, given she's in the House and the main negotiation is going to go on in the United States Senate. But here is some reporter, in an annoying way that only press pool reporters can do, annoying the crap out of Nancy Pelosi by bringing up that AOC clip I just played. So let's listen to drunk old Nancy, who's realizing, the world is moving past the liberal boomer.
There was a thought from the Republicans that AOC is directing this, and she said that senators are welcome to go to her office directly. Is she driving that?
Why are you saying such a ridiculous thing?
I'm just quoting what AOC said. She said go to her office directly. Do you think there's any credibility to that?
She's not directing this. She's wonderful. She's a real team player and the rest of that. You started by saying Republicans saying that she's directing this. She is not. Hakeem Jeffries is. And this takes a lot of experience, a lot of unity from the caucus in terms of the point of view. And that's what this is. She's an articulate spokesperson for her point of view, Hakeem Jeffries.
So don't you bring up that silly crap. AOC ain't the one in charge. We're the ones in charge. My hand-picked successor. That's the one in charge. Yeah, okay. Do y'all feel in charge? Because I think AOC and Bernie in new media are kind of running circles around the rest of the leadership. It's fascinating to watch all the little different dynamics play out because it's never about just the issues.
Thought from the Republicans that AOC.
Shut up! I've heard enough of Pelosi. But it's never just about the issue. There's always other things going on behind the scenes. And I think right now, this is sort of the Democrat Party working out some of those issues in their own camp. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joyce Dent.
Hey, how are you?
All right. If anytime they have a shutdown like this and they talk about cutting military pay, it should be a law that they make or directed by the accounting office or whatever, that no senator or no congressman gets paid as long as our military doesn't get paid. And 2, AOC, and look, they can afford it because all they've done is sit back and did insider trading and get kicked back from lobbyists and USAID. It's not like they need the money, so they don't need the paycheck.
Here. I agree. And they get to hold the nation hostage, play their political games while they're riding the gravy train. It's very unseemly.
Yeah, it's their days are numbered. I'm just tickled to death to watch them commit political suicide. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, maybe again, I think that might be the strategy of like burn this thing down, threaten Schumer and leadership enough as the sort of rising new stars of the party, burn this thing down, and maybe we'll rule over the ashes. So it's fascinating to watch.
Why would they need to threaten Schumer? He's doing an excellent job of self-destructing alone. Hell, let him give him 10 more feet of rope and let him do it. You know?
Well, because he voted with the Republicans. He stopped it from being a shutdown right after Trump's elected earlier this year, and he got so much blowback. This is now what we're watching, him trying to save his ass from the fire. I don't think it's working.
I would imagine probably about 40% of the constituency are probably illegal aliens.
Well, and then the idea that AOC is going to run against him for United States Senate primary him is probably on his mind too.
A real highly intelligent bartender. Yeah, right.
She can dance.
Yeah. Fix me a rum and coke. Shut up.
Well, I appreciate the call, Dennis. Thanks, sir. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Soldier boy. Ken Hutt.
What's up?
Fat boy. What's up, fat boy?
No, I'd still want to lose about 10 more.
Okay, I like it now. We can say it's not politically correct anymore. When I was getting out, it was politically correct. Now it's fat boy.
Oh, yeah. No, but I'm just saying, I think 195 is going to feel better than 205 that I'm sitting at.
You know, it's ironic. I hate to say it, when I was in the military, Jimmy Carter, we did a shutdown. He shut down the government too. And I called, the person, the auto financer and my mortgage payment house person. And, all I had to do was call them and let them know I was in the military because what was going on. And they were all cool about it. I mean, some of them were like 6 months. I mean, we were going to get back. They knew we were going to get back pay for it,
Right.
So it didn't really matter. What I'm proud of, air traffic controllers, man, they showed up. Thank God. They didn't have to. Not military.
No, but I like the idea, though, of Dennis's call that they shouldn't get paid if a lot of, say, folks working are not getting paid.
Oh, it's a mini vacation for the civil service. We used to laugh about it in the airports all the time because the guy that I worked for was a GS-12, and he said, yeah, I'm going to enjoy my vacation. I said, I got to show up every damn day. He goes, yeah. You got to show up every day and not get paid. Isn't that great?
Oh, yeah, and I've got a good, insightful fellow texting me that federal employees get paid biweekly, so we probably have 12 days to fix it up.
Well, here's the thing about it. It's real simple. You should have saved some money. Now, if people are on a tight budget or tight income, then they're going to be sweating it, okay? Because they know they're going to get their money. But the bottom line is they don't know when, okay? So when Jimmy Carter was shut down, they even shut down for like 2 or 3 months, I think it was. When I called up my auto financer, he said, no problem. He says, when you get paid, just pay us, get paid up. He said, I appreciate you calling me, but we all know about it. They all know that the finance was any finance, credit cards and everybody, they're all going to hold on to it. And they froze the interest rates too. So which is cool too for the military. They're not going to get paid. It's all squabble like a bunch of little kids, you know?
Yeah.
But the end of the line is this time Republicans cannot give in. My God, not one damn iota. If they do, I am done with politics. I'm telling you.
You're here.
Period.
You're here. I don't think they are going to budge given the things they've been saying.
Well, it doesn't matter. You know, it's like we're always the softies and everything, you know? And it's like I'm tired of being softy, man, you know? I'm tired of being Mr. Marshmallow Man on Ghostbusters, you know?
I'm tired of being the fat boy.
I'm tired of being Pillsbury Doughboy and stop poking my damn gut, you know, my fat gut. But the thing is, I hope we've learned our lesson. You just gonna, you know what? I mean, you know how bad it really hurts. It really hurts when I was in the military. Or you got a wife, you got 4 kids. She's a stay-at-home mom, and you're living on your airman's pay. Not easy, let me tell you, because you know you're going to get the money. But what are you going to do until then? What are you going to buy groceries with?
Yeah.
How are you going to pay the food for those kids? I mean, utilities, they'll be cool about it. Gas company, they'll be cool about it. But how are you going to buy gas? They're not going to give you credit at a gas station. No. These other places will work with you. But there's places that are just going to, and so we used to tell my young airmen, I said, save some money for emergency. I said, why? He says, you never know, they might shut it down in the next couple of months. He goes, really? I said, yeah. I said, how are you going to pay for your food? How are you going to
you're
eating on
and you're touching on something that's just a general problem is the amount of people, the vast majority of people who don't have $500, $1,000 stowed away, or like a monthly overhead at least stowed away is kind of astounding, or at least have a credit line that can go hit your, you know, and that's it's very unfortunate.
I mean, credit card holders, you know, renters, you know, everybody's flexible and everything. But things like gasoline, you can't. You can't get credit on gasoline. Can you get credit on food? No. Can you go to the grocery store and get food for your kids, your 4 kids? No. I mean, it's going to be rough. Somebody's going to pay the longer this goes on.
Well, I appreciate the call, man. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, it's Woody.
Hey, Woody. I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm good. I wanted to let you know, shout out to Smokehouse Barbecue. I had to go to Millbrook this morning and look at a job, and I went in there and got a large bowl of grits with toast on the side. And man, them grits.
I told you.
That's the second time I've been there. But oh yeah, it's worth the drive to Millbrook.
I hope you told them you're a big listener to the radio.
Oh yeah, always. All right, brother. Well, have a good day. Enjoying the show.
Appreciate it, Woody. I appreciate you saying that. And now I wish I had a big old bowl of cheese grits. I'm a little jealous. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're Pest Pro, Ashley, and that great team. They're also there at Main Street in Millbrook, right near Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. But they're a Pest Pro. They can help you with any and all of your pest control needs. 5 years, 5 great, successful years. Really a true success story coming out of the pandemic here in terms of local small business. So if you're looking for great local folks that can actually get the job done well and do it in a way that's, financially prudent, it allows you to actually budget for your pest control like you would budget for any other major need you have for your home to keep it up and keep you that, say, peace of mind that you're relaxing in your humble abode. No little critters are going to be crawling in the middle of the night. So whether you're worried about cockroaches or ants or, God forbid, you get a big wood pile because you're going to start burning wood as things get cooler in the fireplace, and all these little insects are inside that wood pile. You can get that treated. Maybe you're worried about the spiders webbing your entry-exit points. They can help you out with that. And honestly, you should just get on their monthly subscription program and let them do their professional work. They're very, very good at it. You can always check them out online, learn more at ppsriverregion.com, or search for Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces, or just call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. Oh, it looks like Bitcoin just popped back over $120,000 of Bitcoin, up about 2% for the day, something like 8% for the week. I like seeing that. They're calling it bullish October for the BTC. I haven't forgotten about it. Just keep saving. Just keep stacking those sats. I think it'll be a nice little nest egg for anybody that just puts a little bit away. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show, and if you can hear this, we want to come see you.
You heard right!
David Ernest and the crew from the Health and Wealth Show want to come to your town just to say hello. All you have to do is let them know who you are and where you are. It's as simple as that.
It can't be that simple.
Oh, yes, it is.
What do we have to do?
Write your name on the back of a $20 bill. Then, sorry, that's the wrong offer. If you would like David Ernest and the crew from the Health and Wealth Show to come visit you, call toll-free 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE. Tell us your name. Tell us where you are. Tell us your phone number. And maybe we'll come see you. If that method is not to your liking, get on Facebook. Go to Ernest Financial, Montgomery, Alabama. Click on the page. Then click on the pinned post at the top, and there's all the information you need. David Ernest wants to come see you. Brought to you by Ernest Financial, LLC, serving the community for over 40 years.
The best pizza buffet in town just got better. In October, Pizza Perfect is rolling back the price to 2010. This month only, the buffet is only $10. Included on the buffet is pizza, spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink. Get it for lunch Monday through Saturday and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. If you've never been to Pizza Perfect, now's a great time to go. $10 for the buffet. Pizza Perfect. Available for pickup and delivery. Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard, Eastbrook.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's a pretty good early October forecast with a high temperature up to about 84 today. Plenty of sunshine. The nights are fairly comfortable with the overnight low temperature tonight down to about 64, mostly clear skies. More sun Friday and Saturday, high temperatures generally in the lower 80s. The coolest morning, I think, will be Friday morning around 60. And perhaps some widely scattered showers on Sunday, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. Still, though, it is possible. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. And as I keep saying, the era, the age of the liberal boomer is dying. Looking at a headline here from GALLUP. Here's the breakdown of their latest polling about trust in mass media. Americans' confidence in the mass media has edged down to a new low, with just 28% expressing a quote-unquote great deal or quote-unquote fair amount of trust in newspapers, television, talk radio, to report the news fully, accurately, and fairly. This is down from 31% last year and 40% 5 years ago. Damn, that is not a good direction. Meanwhile, 7 in 10 U.S. adults now say they have not very much confidence, or none at all, in these institutions. 7 in 10, 70% is crazy. And especially when you start seeing these numbers, and again, folks, here's what's happening. As I'm looking at the chart, like the number of people who used to think, yeah, I have a great deal, fair amount of trust in all these media organizations. The question they've been asking in Gallup since 1972 to today is, quote, in general, how much trust and confidence do you have in the mass media, such as newspapers, TV, and radio, when it comes to reporting the news fully, accurately, and fairly? A great deal, a fair amount, not very much, or not at all. The great deal, fair amount trend, all the way back in 1972, it was just shy of 70% trust, great deal or fair amount, in these media organizations. And I guess it was like 68% in 72, then a little before 75, it got to 69. Nice. And then it popped over 70%. And since, say, the late 70s, it has been a steady decline to where about, let's say, the mid-90s, you're at a little over 50% of people that trust, say, prestige media. A little pop up, a little down, but the trend continues down. So that's like 1996, where it goes from over 70%. 20 years later, it's down 20 points in trust. Let's fast forward another 20 years to 2015 or so. It's now getting closer to 30%. A little bit of a rise after Trump is elected, which is fascinating because they had to pull out all the stops. And now after Trump's reelection, like the trust level keeps going way down as more and more folks are saying, yeah, I have no trust in these folks at all. Pretty crazy. And not much trust is also 36%. Again, not much or none at all is 70% of Americans. Crazy. This is the first time in all their years of polling this that trust in major media has fallen below 30%. Although Democrats and Republicans continue to express different levels of trust in the news media, the percentages with high confidence in reporting are at low points among all party groups. So this is a general sense and trend. Again, much of what we are seeing over, say, the last decade is a technological change, ushering in a cultural change, ushering in a political change. Will we ever get to the spiritual change? Maybe. But this upheaval in technology has had consequences for the culture and consequences for our politics. But Republican confidence, which hasn't risen above 21% since 2015, has dropped to single digits now to only 8% of Republicans have any little bit of trust for the media. Independent trust has not reached the majority level since 2003, and the latest reading, independents say 27%, matching last year's historic low. Only 27% of independents trust the media. For Democrats, the narrowest of majorities, 51%, now express trust in the media, which is a repeat of the previous low seen in 2016. So Democrats like double the amount of trust independents have in the media, and they essentially, it's fivefold. It's a multiple of five Democrats compared to Republicans on trust in media. And this is what we've been saying. Now, talk radio has long been taken over by these stupid shock jocks. That damn Rush Limbaugh and that damn Howard Stern changed the game. It's not gotten any better. Well, and of course, the national media knows nothing about Don Markwell, but I can't really do a good impersonation of him. Though I did learn yesterday one of his favorite words was pussification. Maybe I'll have to bring that back to honor the guy who blazed a trail here on these airwaves. But really crazy. Not surprising, but when you see the long-term trends all laid out, pretty crazy. And here's the thing. It's not just Democrats trust these old dying institutions, especially it is literally the death and the decline of the liberal boomer. Again, the age of the liberal boomer is over. In particular, Gallup found there is a clear generational divide in trust in the media that has grown particularly stark over the past decade, according to an analysis of 3-year aggregated data to increase sample sizes. In the most recent 3-year period, spanning from 2023 to 2025, 43% of adults under age 65 and older trust the media, compared with no more than 28% in any younger group. So if you're over 65, you're at about 43% trust. If you're under, well, you're tracking with the general trend. In the early 2000s, Americans in all 4 age groups expressed relatively similar levels of confidence in the media at just above 50%. This is in the early odds. Since then, confidence among all 4 groups has gradually declined, but less so among Americans age 65 and older, because it's hard to teach old dogs new tricks. That's not where you get your information. Go get your information from this new thing. Why did I do that? I like the old thing. Well, tell me what to do. I like the stuff. Stop changing stuff. Well, that's the way the world works. Democrats of all ages express more trust than Republicans in mass media. In combined 2023 to 2025 data, 38% of Democrats aged 18 to 29 and 42% of those aged 30 to 49, that's my cohort, express trust in the media. Really? Millennial Democrats? 42% of y'all trust these folks? Why? I guess you're kind of like, yeah, give me the blue pill, make me rich. Like you're Cypher or something in the Matrix. But 42% of those my age, 30 to 49, express trust in the media, compared with 59% of Democrats age 50 to 64, and 69% of those age 65 and older. I've been saying it for years, especially when we get one of those like drunk women who forgot to take her pills to calm her down. Like when they'd call in and get really mad at us, I'm like, you clearly are being brainwashed by these media institutions. That is crazy. It's not even nice that it's 69%. 69% of Democrats 65 and older they trust the media. Do y'all feel in charge? But I think essentially they're sinking with the ship. Again, the era of the liberal boomer is over. By the way, I got a clarification saying a source says they just talked to a friend that works in the government. They're actually processing federal checks, their next check. So it'll be about 3 weeks before. Ooh. Yeah, that might smart for a second. And that really does stink. And it's not just folks who work for the government, it's most people. A large number of people, I haven't looked at the latest numbers, but a huge number of people don't have a savings account. They live paycheck to paycheck. Now, there are some folks living paycheck to paycheck who live in nice setups. Like you make more money and you spend more money. That can happen. But there is something about, so it's not just, oh, you're broke or you're poor. By the way, one's just a practical reality. One's you're broke. The other's a state of mind. Stop thinking of yourself as poor. You'll probably always be that way. But it's not just a broke or poor issue, not having money stowed away for a rainy day. I think it's a cultural issue. I think it's a spiritual issue in many ways. That we become much more of the whim of the moment. As opposed, put it on the credit card. Take out another loan. And it's across the board. It's individuals, it's small businesses, it's everybody. It's the government, multinational corporation, everybody. And as you see, our irresponsibility, financially speaking, well, in the government, no wonder maybe it does actually accurately reflect the wishes of the American people and how they think about these things. But I got to hit a break. First, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you out, whether you're looking to buy a place or you're looking to refinance a place. Again, with interest rates already dropped a little bit and they expect to be dropped more by the Federal Reserve, this will start to affect mortgage interest rates more and more. So if you've been waiting and watching the rate game, if you've been waiting, watching Trump hammer, too late, Jerome Powell, saying, I'm waiting for that rate to move on what I need to do. Well, it's happening. It's starting. Get in touch. At least start the conversation with Alabama Home Mortgage. That way, if you're buying a place, you can go ahead and get pre-approved. That way, you can confidently go into the market, get to know sellers, get to know the house of your dreams, and then you can proceed. And Alabama Home Mortgage will walk with you every step of the way from pre-approval all the way to closing day. Then, of course, they can do a great refinance deal, whether you're looking to restructure your debt, credit card debt, maybe took out a second mortgage with an adjustable rate. My God. Could be you're looking to lower monthly overhead costs, whether you're in retirement close to it, or you just want to lower your monthly overhead costs because I want to just save money in general. I don't have to be in retirement. Or it could be you want to just reinvest in yourself, your property, your family. they can help you with any of your goals there at Alabama Home Mortgage and do it in a swift fashion. Quick turnaround times there on refi deals. So get that conversation going today. That number for Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. Equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
Hi, I'm Jane Ray, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Radio is an active medium. It can create immediacy, driving shoppers to a specific store, brand, or to take a specific action. Radio ads engage with the audience in a personal and unique way. Contact me, Jane Ray, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Can you hear the squeals and smell the corn dogs and funnel cakes? The 11 best days of fall are almost here. The Alabama National Fair. News Talk 93.1 WACV has your fair tickets. Listen for your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Alabama National Fair, coming to the Garrett Coliseum October 3rd through the 13th. It's the 11 best days of fall. The Alabama National Fair. From News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Closing out the second hour. One more hour to go. And joining us on the phones now, we have James Gowdy with Sons Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram over there on the boulevard. James, how you doing this afternoon?
Doing great, Joey. How you doing?
Oh, life's all right. I did a little ranted, a little raving, talked to some fine folks. You know, it's what we do here.
Great.
So what's going on there today at Sons Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram?
Yeah, so the fall savings event is still going on into October, but actually the deals got better this month. So I'm excited to share that with you and your audience. So first off, we've got 0% for 72 months on our 2025 Ram 1500s, or you can get up to $19,000 off on our remaining 25s. We've also got 0% for 60 months on our Grand Cherokee, third row Grand Cherokees, or you can get $16,000 off on the limiteds. Then we've got a lease going on right now on our Compasses, Jeep Compass, which is the mid-size SUV, and you can get those as low as $299 a month. And we still have our no payments until 2026. So think about that. You have no payments until after Christmas.
That's amazing. And folks can just stop by the boulevard, or can they shop from home online?
Absolutely, yeah. Come by and check us out on the boulevard. We're here until 7 o'clock Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays 8:30 to 6. Or you can check our website out. Our inventory is changing daily. But our website is suncdjr.com.
Well, I appreciate it, James, and we'll talk again soon.
Appreciate you having me.
Again, folks, that's James Gowdy with Sons Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get by there, take advantage of these amazing sales, especially if you need a new vehicle and you don't want to have to start paying until after the new year is upon us. That's a sweet deal right there. Well, we got, like I said, Final hour coming up. I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about. Maybe see what 1819 News is kicking around after 2. And then, of course, we have some stupid stuff, like about somebody who used to, like, sleep with the ex or the mayor of Eric Adams in New York, and now she's writing some tell-all book or what. I guess everybody has their thing they're interested in. Even memoirs by whores.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. It is day 2 now of a government shutdown that has both political parties blaming the other. At the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says they're discussing sizable layoffs in the federal workforce amidst the government shutdown. That could reduce some wasteful spending the president would like to get rid of anyway, she says. Police have reported that 2 people were killed and 3 others seriously injured in a synagogue attack in northern England. Greater Manchester Police believe the suspect also was killed in the ensuing shootout, and they are calling it a terrorist attack as it was aimed against Jews on the holiest day of the Jewish calendar. Even with the shutdown, the National Park Service is planning to furlough some workers, but also try to keep some park roads, lookout trails, and open-air memorials accessible to the public. The plan allows parks to enter into agreements with the states they're located in. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's a pretty good early October forecast with a high temperature up to about 84 today. Plenty of sunshine. The nights are fairly comfortable with the overnight low temperature tonight down to about 64, mostly clear skies. More sun Friday and Saturday. High temperatures generally in the lower 80s. The coolest morning, I think, will be Friday morning around 60. And perhaps some widely scattered showers on Sunday, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. Still, though, it is possible. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
1819 News.
Tuscaloosa County will be playing a part in unleashing American energy under the Trump administration. This week, the Bureau of Land Management announced a coal lease sale to Warrior Met Coal Mining when it comes to a federal mineral estate in that county. The lease will generate $46 million in revenue as Warrior Met Coal goes after metallurgical coal on the 14,000 acres. Secretary of the Interior Doug Burgum says that expanding access to the world-class metallurgical coal will bring good-paying jobs to the area, and it's supporting steel production as well as U.S. energy dominance. U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville posted about the sale, saying it's good news for Alabama, and Tuberville said that energy dominance is back. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
Turning Point USA is coming to Alabama next week. The group founded by Charlie Kirk will be at the campus of the University of Alabama alongside the Foundation to Abolish Abortion. The president of that foundation, Bradley Pierce, along with Arizona pastor Jeff Durbin, will be speaking. This will happen on October 7th. A coach at Daphne High School has been placed on administrative leave. School officials are investigating video of Casey Craig possibly making an obscene gesture during a volleyball game against another school. Craig has been the volleyball coach at the Daphne High School since 2021. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Attention business owners. Did you know that about 90% of employees and customers are unhappy when they walk into a dirty building? Let Janny King, the king of clean, keep your business pristine. Janny King's local franchise owners can handle your cleaning needs with reliable, hands-on cleaning solutions that deliver more than just a clean space. Janny King comes with regional support, which ensures consistency and quality, allowing you to focus on all the other needs of your business. Go to JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King, the king of clean.
Go, go, go! Fox Tonight takes you to hell and back.
Let's go!
First, an all-new Hell's Kitchen has
The Battle of the States.
who will make their hometown proud.
Good luck on that one.
Then, Special Forces goes deep.
You're going underwater in an aircraft.
This is one of my biggest fears.
You will potentially die.
These celebrities will learn why it's called the world's toughest test.
She's unconscious.
Get a dive position! Come here, come on, girl, breathe.
Tonight on Fox 20.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm looking at 1819news.com, and the top story, the top headline there, top of the page at least, Coach Tuberville saying that if we need to take over our streets with National Guard, we'll do it. In a Thursday interview with the Breitbart News Daily podcast, U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville previewed what would be different with him as governor than with sitting Governor Kay Ivey. Tuberville, who announced earlier this year that he would be running for governor instead of seeking re-election to the U.S. Senate, said the significant difference would be President Donald Trump sending more power and money to the states. He added that, like Trump, he would not hesitate to deploy the National Guard to Alabama cities with crime problems. Tuberville said, quote, well, things are going to change when asked about what he would do if he actually gets in there as governor. And they're going to change for one reason, Coach continued. His name is Donald J. Trump. As I talked to the president, when I told him, Mr. President, I'm thinking about running for governor, he said, well, you know, I'm sending the power and the money back to the states. That's the way it should be. You should run your own state. You have your own culture, your own boundaries, the people that you know. You'll have more rural people than urban people. So I'm going to do that. And that's the reason I'm doing this. And so he's going to relinquish a lot of things that will be turned back to the governors that they'll have more power on. And so that's the way this country was built. It wasn't built with a bloated federal government that overspends everything, steals, cheats, lies, and makes the states suffer. So I'm glad President Trump is doing this, says Coach Tuberville. I'm glad he's sending out National Guard to a lot of these cities and these urban cities that can't control their own people and get some sense of reality back in our country. But I plan on going back and doing the same thing, he concluded. If we need to take over our streets with National Guard, we'll do it. That's Coach Tommy Tuberville. For state politics, this might actually affect the local area. U.S. District Judge Anna Manasco ordered a special master appointed by the court to draw a new Alabama State Senate map on Wednesday. In the wake of a federal court ruling against Alabama's 2021 state Senate map, Governor Kay Ivey recently decided not to call a special session to draw a new map. The ruling agreed with left-wing plaintiffs suing the state that state Senate districts 25 and 26, held by state senators Will Barfoot, what's up, man, and Kirk Hatcher, what's up, man, violated Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Because, of course, it did. Manasco ordered on Wednesday a special master to redraw Alabama's state Senate map by October 24th ahead of qualifying in January for the 2026 election. Ultimately, the secretary has not established that he is likely to succeed on the merits of his defenses, writes the judge in this case, nor that he faces irreparable harm. He has shown only that he anticipates that another case might disrupt long-settled redistricting jurisprudence. But as a practical matter, staying this case to wait on one that will deprive the plaintiffs of relief that they are entitled to under long-settled law. Again, that is from the judge. Now, you got to wonder, and maybe this is why Kay Ivey didn't call a special session. Maybe this is why the arguments were what they were from the state of Alabama, is the long-expected case coming out of Louisiana that could change how Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act has been settled since at least the 80s. And if you look under the hood of the car driving this thing, what you'll find is there were people predicting that because of this, that, or the other, what you're going to end up with is proportional entitlement based on collective or group identity. And that is in violation of all sorts of good rules, particularly the 14th Amendment when it comes to, individual rights, not collective group entitlements to political power. Clarence Thomas, in particular, has been in dissent after dissent after dissent, teeing this up. In one of the more recent cases, you saw Justice Kavanaugh saying, Thomas might have something here. And wouldn't that be an amazing thing for Clarence Thomas to do on his way out the door, as sort of his last hurrah, his closing salvo, as he retires and Trump gets to appoint somebody else? I think it's coming, but we'll see. We will certainly see. Just checking real quick to see if anything else I want to bring to your attention. No, not really. I'm just scrolling through stuff about Hunts Vegas and something going on in Madison. Like a man allegedly bit and struck a Madison police officer during a mental health crisis. Well, damn. So that's it for Alabama news for the time being. Now to something completely different. Another aspect of the age or era of the liberal boomer, one of the mainstays of power for liberal boomerism was the universities. And honestly, I don't even have to read this whole story. Because who's the crown jewel there of the Ivy League? Now, some people might argue it's Princeton. It's this or that. It's that. But a lot of people think of Harvard. Well, Harvard University, founded, I think, as a theological school. Harvard University hires drag queen named LaWhore Vagistan as visiting professor. Wasn't that in the James Bond movie with the laser beams and stuff? LaWhore Vagistan? And you might think, oh, they're no longer a theological institution there at Harvard. They gone completely secular. No, this looks a lot like some weird cult religion to me. There's still a bunch of theocrats. They grew out of, well, won't get into the whole religious history, but let's just say this has become the weird, twisted faith of the liberal boomer elite. And weird and twisted indeed it is. So you don't even have to say anything. Like, you sending your kid to Harvard? You mean that place that hired a drag queen as a professor named LaWhore Vagistan? Yeah, I think my kid should at least, go to Auburn or Alabama or something. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Wow, yeah, that shocked me. You got a guest today?
No, not at this point.
Okay. Well, this thing in Gaza right now, are you okay with the international community claiming Israel is a bunch of genocidal fools?
No, I think that's overstated, like I said to Judge Knapp earlier in the week.
Well, let me ask you something. Who in American media is going to do a counter to that? A fair counter to that?
A fair counter to that?
In what American media are we going to counter that? Because I think it's important. If we don't counter that, it's going to be trouble in NATO world.
Well, you got the usuals, like Fox News has definitely been countering that since the beginning of the war.
I was shocked that they said 70% of Italians believe that.
Oh, yeah. My view on this is, and I try not to get too much into the weeds, especially as Beeson, man. He was kicking anthills earlier today. I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I liked it. But I think what's happened is Israel had to respond after the 7th, and the plan all along from Sinwar was to, understanding they will always lose a kinetic war, that we will win the hybrid war using our civilian population, our women and children, as our best assets in that hybrid war. And it's been working that way. I think, I'll put it this way, though, if you look at under the hood of Israeli politics, I think there are some people on the hard right that would want to completely ethnically cleanse the Palestinians out of the area, but I don't believe that's actually going to be allowed at this point, given this new plan that Trump came up with.
I got you.
Where are you right now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm almost on a quite public place, so it's a problem. I'll let you go because it's bad radio, I know.
All right, later, man. There's a lot going on in the background there. No, in some ways, I think, again, the era of liberal boomerism is dying. And in the same way that you can't share the same old narratives over and over again and all these issues under the sun, you now have a new reality in media where people are much more free to think what they want to think and believe what they want to believe. And certain untouchable topics are now, well, there are a lot of people touching it. Doesn't seem all that untouchable anymore. Everybody's touching it. I try to view this, especially the geopolitical stuff, as from 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet. I try. I think the claims of genocide and all these things are, again, overstated. They're wrong. But I do give credence to the idea that what's taking so long? What's taking so long? And I think it would be a very wise policy going forward if this ceasefire actually holds and you start getting more and more investment. If it actually works, I think it would be wise if the United States and Israel weren't as tied to the hip. And honestly, I've heard Israelis say that would probably be better for us as well. But will we actually get that? And I would make it as policy not singling out Israel. I'd be zeroing out all sorts of foreign aid. But in the meantime, I look at this and I go, this is war. Like, have you read a history book? Like all of a sudden after World War II, nobody's allowed to change lines on maps. No, not allowed. And we're so liberal and enlightened, and we're the liberal boomers. Like, now we didn't actually win the war. We inherited all the winnings, and we kind of spoiled it, and we've wasted away with it, and we're in mountains and mountains of debt and all this other stuff. But yeah, things are changing across the board in a fast way. Now, I find the idea that you can't just say, well, we're the liberal international order. You can't draw these lines anew. Like the lines that the British Empire and the French drew in the Middle East, these are sacrosanct lines. Like, give me a break, man. When Russia invades, when there is no settlement, not the settlements, but there is no underlying actual full settlement and reconciliation of what's going on in the Holy Land between Israel and the Palestinians, then yeah, war is going to break out, lines are going to change. And we've gotten into this weird thing that people find the weak virtuous simply for being weak. Even so-called weak people can be very, very dangerous indeed, as Hamas proved on October the 7th. They didn't get into, well, Israel, including Likud and Netanyahu, like, funded Hamas a little bit because they thought they could control the flame of, they could control the Hamas folks. And so you would have a two-headed monster, and in particular, Hamas is so crazy. How do you make peace with that? But then, the monster got out of its cage. But as Israel is losing the hybrid war, because of this new media environment in particular, and a lot of their actions when war is filmed, yeah, a lot of people are going to react to that accordingly. I'm just not shocked by it. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. But as they continue to lose the hybrid war, one of the more awful things is you see the rise of, I think, straight up anti-Semitism. And we've got another boy who cried wolf situation. It's kind of like calling somebody a racist. Like if you question the policy, the prudence of the policy that has been ongoing with the United States and Israel, then of course, if you even question a thing, you will be labeled an anti-Semite. And I think that's unfortunate, given there are many very real anti-Semites in the world. In particular, you saw that awful attack in the United Kingdom. Last I saw 2 dead on Yom Kippur of all days. Seems like a pattern that they get attacked on high holy days. I want peace. I want the Russians and the Ukrainians to stop killing each other en masse. I want the Israelis and the Palestinians to stop killing each other. But you can pray for peace, and sometimes you just find a sword. And I think sometimes in the name of, controlling the situation, what you do is you allow problems to become generational resentments and reprisals. And that's coming to a head. Indeed, a lot of stuff, all at once, everywhere, is changing. But we'll see. Let's go to line 1. You're on the air. Who's this?
It's Bobby B.
Hey, Bobby B. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Interesting little conversations you've been having there with yourself.
Yeah, what do you think of Harvard hiring a drag queen named LaWhore Vagistan?
Just whatever. I'm tired of trying to figure out Auburn's problems. I don't know what's going to happen.
Actually, I've been getting it wrong. It's LaWhore Vagistani. Excuse me.
Whatever, man. Whatever. Auburn's problems are beyond my ability to even worry about anymore. I really want them to win, but it's like I want Middle East peace.
Right.
Ain't really happening.
I just want peace in Eastern Europe, and I'll be
Or the
happy.
Ukrainian war to stop.
Right,
It ain't really happening. I don't know. There's a couple of observations. First of all, just so that I may reiterate it one more time. I like Judge Napolitano.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a good man. But, I've had my difficulties with his, stances on a few things. And this last one that he went into when they had gone over, Trump's team had gone to Qatar, and there was, lo and behold, an Israeli attack. Okay. And I mean, the dust hadn't even settled before Judge Napolitano got out there. War criminal, murderer, rah, 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 rah. And then the next day, we finally find the facts out, or the facts start coming out.
Right.
And the facts were that Trump and team warned Qatar, look, that looks like they're trying to attack. Y'all better do something about this or something.
Yep.
Israel is an independent state. We can't control everything about them. So Israel later had to apologize. But look, Judge, what kind of judge gets out there and decides to throw around charges like war criminal and murderer without knowing the facts?
One who's retired and has millions of followers on YouTube. I agree with you. I agree with you. And there have been more and more instances of that where I find it, I'm annoyed and I disagree too. But, I still love the guy and respect him in a lot of regards.
I'm gonna keep on, respecting him, and I, have a certain amount of affinity for him myself. The problem is he has a bad case of TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, a bad case. And, what happened with that particular instance is, it showed up. The symptoms of the disease were out there for everybody to see. And he couldn't hide it anymore. But anyway, this whole thing with Gaza, though, I just don't think it's going to work, Joey. The Gaza people, I think, who was it that you might have had on the show? Or it might have been Greg that had on the show. David Blackman?
Yeah.
And he was talking about how, look, the Gaza people just absolutely are the sworn enemies of Israel, and they are not going to change. So, can you find a lasting peace? I don't think so. They've tried and tried, but
I think this is a different approach than what's been tried. So that I'm not exactly hopeful. I think you're right to be skeptical, and I think everybody should. Don't be holding your breath for peace. You're going to suffocate.
So what's different?
The difference is is this. Trump already laid the groundwork with the Abraham Accords, getting Israel recognized, the right to exist by several of the Gulf Arab states. Sure. And the idea was everybody for decades said the solution to peace in the Middle East is peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis. But every time they tried to come together for that peace negotiation, what would happen? The Palestinian leaders would get a crap load of more money that they wouldn't actually use to enrich their people. And then the Israelis would just take more land. And this just would continue. And then wars would break out, and then peace again, and wars and terrorism break out. And so what Jared Kushner in particular came up with, talking to Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince of Saudi, is that why are we doing it this way? We're young men. We're a new generation. This seems like a pie in the sky, idealistic, globalist sort of UN thing. Why not just do it on a practical basis, and we go through practical steps? So the idea would be start trading economically and start having some cultural exchange, even to the point of people in the 20s, 30s, even younger, are able to go back and forth and realize, oh, all this propaganda being pumped out into the Muslim world in particular is nonsense. And so the idea of Trump and them, if it gets past the point where Hamas actually accepts and gets out of there and relinquishes their weapons and control, that's the point where I'm like, okay, this could work, because put it in a short way. When Gaza becomes Dubai, we'll give you a state. When Gaza gets developed to this point, and that's the idea. Let's invite the folks who gave us the new Saudi Arabia and the new UAE and all these cities that are international and booming. Let's bring all those geniuses in. Y'all run Gaza, build it up, and then maybe we can have an actual deal here.
Well, that does make more sense. Why is it up to us to try to do something for the Gaza people always? And it's never enough. It's never effective. So, yeah, I think, the Islamic world, they're the ones that need to step up and do it. So that does make a little more sense. But I tell you what, trying to get those hostages back, boy, that's like, boy, that's going to be a tough one right there, because they are not going to want to do it. Because, why would they? This is like the only thing standing between them and sure death. Basically, they know that if they give the hostage up, there ain't nothing left.
Well, and so it's the early stages you're right to focus on. And this came out about an hour ago from The Guardian saying Hamas to demand key revisions to Trump Gaza plan before accepting, sources say. Turkey and Qatar putting pressure on the group to make concessions, but condition it disarm is a sticking point. Yeah. Guys, and a lot of people are going to die.
Yeah,
that's what they want.
I don't think that. I mean, if it doesn't work and if it doesn't hold together, and it doesn't hold together real quick, like with the release of some hostages, I think that it's going to be like, we tried, and then that'll be it.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
But pacification does work in the end. So I mean, it might take that, but that would be the last hurrah for them. But anyway, all right, guys, enjoying the show.
I appreciate it, Papa B. 272-9228 again if you want to get in on the conversation. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And there at the Goodson Group, Bo and his team are ready to help you out, whether you're looking to buy or sell some property here in the River Region real estate market. And it's not just buying and selling they can help you there. They don't just help buyers and sellers. They also can help you if you want to rent out your home. They can help you manage your property if you want to convert it into a rental. Great idea in this market, especially with all the turnover with the military bases. And why not make that asset you have a performing asset with the Goodson Group managing it for you? And the crown jewel there, if you really want to study up yourself, is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed and accredited real estate programs in the state of Alabama. And the reason is Bo's 50 years of experience. He brings that to bear, and it's a very interactive course. He's been through it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And they can get you to where you want to study up to maybe be a licensed agent, or it could be you just want to be a more knowledgeable private player in the real estate market. Maybe you want to learn how to manage property if you want to get into the rental game. They can help you with this. So y'all check them out today. You can always learn more at thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, great sponsor here of the program. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hello, this is Rick. Man, I got a question.
Yeah.
Aren't these people they want that insurance for, aren't they supposed to be American citizens?
You would think, and they claim we're not doing that, but we say back to them, money is fungible. Stop it.
I think that that's the issue there for the American people. Hey, these people are not citizens. Until they get the citizenship, they're not entitled to it.
Right. Right.
That's what I have to say.
I think you're on to it. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Yeah, and it's what, in many ways, Trump and team were elected to do. But it's only day 2 of the shutdown. We'll see how long this goes. And apparently Putin is furious over an EU plan to use frozen Russian assets to fund a loan to Ukraine. Well, damn, Vladimir. Make peace. Make peace. Anyway, I got to hit this break. More after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
I'm Jim Smith with Adams Drugs, and what our customers say about our business is the most important advertising tool. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who is a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, how easy was it to move your business back to Adams Drugs?
Jim, it was very easy. All we did was make a phone call to the store in Prattville. That's where we live now, and they took it from there, and I didn't do anything else.
What has your overall experience been like here at Adams Drugs?
Well, we are glad to be back with Adams. We've had quite an experience in some towns we lived in, and they have great service. You can tell that the employees are glad to be there to serve you, and I couldn't ask for any more. Whatever formula the Vinson family has, they need to keep it in a safe place because it's certainly working.
Come into any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking to a lion tamer.
What up, Wild Kingdom?
I see you're working with the big cats.
That's right, man. They're ferocious. Down Garfield are no tender victuals for you.
I'll bet you've made so much money that you've had to hire yourself a money man.
Yeah, man, and I've hired the best.
You mean the man who could quite possibly be the most beloved asset preservationist in the world?
That's right, man. David Ernest.
The money man with the money plan.
Yeah, Daddy-O, and you can call him toll-free at 833-596-7233.
And those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
Yeah, man. Mr. Jinx, stop that. That's disgusting.
Tell me, how did you get into this business?
Well, my Uncle Claude, who was also a lion tamer, taught me everything I know.
And what was your Uncle Claude's last name?
Badley.
Claude Badley.
Yeah, excuse me. I gotta go scoop out the litter box.
Make sure you get that joke while you're at it.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
After 20 years of playing football, I walked away from the game, but I couldn't walk away from the pain.
You're listening to Doug Williams, legendary pro quarterback.
Foot pain, back pain, knee pain. I tried just about everything. Nothing worked. I was losing hope. If you're dealing with that, I get it. I was right there too. Then I walked into the GoodFeet store. They took the time, they really listened to my situation, and they fit me with arch support perfect for my feet and lifestyle. That was a game changer for me. The pain eased. I got back to moving, living, back to being me.
For over 30 years, the GoodFeet store has been improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time.
Folks, if pain is holding you back, don't give up. Don't lose hope. I wouldn't let pain bench me. Don't let it bench you. Just go see my friends at the GoodFeet store.
The GoodFeet store is in Montgomery, across from the shops at East Chase.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's a pretty good early October forecast with a high temperature up to about 84 today. Plenty of sunshine. The nights are fairly comfortable with the overnight low temperature tonight down to about 64, mostly clear skies. More sun Friday and Saturday. High temperatures generally in the lower 80s. The coolest morning, I think, will be Friday morning around 60. And perhaps some widely scattered showers on Sunday, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. Still, though, it is possible. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, here's a story that honestly I was waiting to share with Eddie, but I'm running out of things to talk about. And honestly, this is, I didn't know this sort of event existed. In fact, there might still be time to register if you can get a plane ticket to run over to Denver, Colorado. Why? Because on Saturday, October 5th, how could it be Saturday, October 5th? Thought it was... Anyway, that's what it's written here in the New York Post. On Saturday, about 1,200 registrants are expected to toe the line at the 8th annual International Taco Bell 50K Ultra Marathon. Again, 1,200 people are going to participate in the 8th annual International Taco Bell 50K Ultra Marathon. It's a quasi-urban adventure that challenges the quads and the colon in equal measure. The Denver-based race, which is neither endorsed nor affiliated with Taco Bell corporate, invites what one participant in the race calls a special type of idiot to run the 31-mile course and eat at 9 out of 10 Taco Bells along the way. Runners must order a real food item. Drinks don't count. And consume a Chalupa Supreme, cheese-laden flatbread encased taco, or a Crunchwrap Supreme, an excessive mix between a burrito and a quesadilla, by stop number 4. So you got to get something big, greasy, fatty, and heavy. Throw a little hot sauce on there. Or that gross avocado stuff they got now. It's like I like avocado, but their avocado sauce is just gross. Their cantina or whatever. Pamela, by the way, is joining us in the studio. What do you think of this so far?
I didn't hear the beginning of it, but
yeah,
it sounds awful.
It's a race coming up this weekend. They're saying Saturday, October 5th, but I thought Saturday was the 4th.
Saturday is the 4th.
Yeah, the New York Post sucks then. But 1,200 registrants are going to enter the 8th annual International Taco Bell 50K Ultra Marathon, to where along the way you have to stop at 9 out of 10 Taco Bells while you run the 31-mile race. They have to order a real food item, drinks don't count, and consume a Chalupa Supreme or a Crunchwrap Supreme by stop number 4. By the 8th stop, these fast foodies must also devour a Burrito Supreme or Nachos Bel Grande, the latter being a 750-calorie bomb of beef, beans, nacho cheese sauce, and sour cream, though it's low-fat sour cream. They don't have normal fat sour cream there. They're required to do it all within 11 hours and without on-course performance-enhancing drugs like Pepto-Bismol and Alka-Seltzer.
They're all going to load up on that stuff that stops diarrhea ahead of time.
Like Imodium?
Like Imodium.
Like Imodium.
Yeah, all the
I
CVS.
took that once.
All the CVS are going to be sold out.
It was a mistake when I took that once.
Really?
Big mistake. Stopped up for days.
Well, see, that's what they're doing.
It's a mistake. They shouldn't do that. They should crap their pants before they do that. But while the official rules don't forbid vomiting, for full
how could you not vomit?
For full street cred, you got to keep it down. But ultimately, there are no winners. There are survivors.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point? To do something, the event website says, quote unquote, completely stupid.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awful. I just can't imagine how your stomach would feel doing that.
I don't like running anyway. Like
No,
a marathon's tough enough,
gosh.
an ultra marathon especially.
No.
Like having to down Taco Bell and do that. And I'm not, Taco Bell's all right. Like I'd
I
much
mean-
rather prefer real Mexican food.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
But-
Like a quesadilla. It's okay.
Ugh.
I ate a lot of it in college. I'll put it that way. Back in the days where Taco Bell was putting bacon in everything.
Really?
Yeah. Like I want a chicken and a steak quesadilla, add the bacon.
See, where I grew up, we didn't have Taco Bells close by because I live in a very small town. And so I don't think I had Taco Bell really until I moved here.
Yeah. It's It's kind of a like, yeah.
It's not one of those things that has any nostalgia for me, or like I grew up eating it, so I can live without it. I'm not really I gotta stop at Taco Bell.
Yeah, I never like lived for it. I mean, Taco Bell's good when you're really stoned.
Well,
At least that was my experience in college. Get off
Yeah.
the graveyard shift making the donuts from midnight to 8 in the morning. Stop at Taco Bell because you've been inhaling sugar all night.
Uh-huh.
And then, we might rip a few things and eat our Taco Bell, watch something funny, and then go to sleep.
See, if I had an all-nighter when I was that age, there was this place called the Country Cart Deli that made like awesome breakfast sandwiches, but
Yes.
all night long. And that's what we would stop and get.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So there are some people that actually have done this. There's one guy named Dan Zolnikov. I guess he's Russian or something. He
Guts of steel.
was training for his first 50-mile ultra in 2016 when his running buddy stopped in a Taco Bell to use the bathroom. Typically, the duo passed through Denver farmers markets for food, drink, and digestive relief during long runs. But this visit sparked a delusional thought. What if they dined and dashed as the stoner favorite franchises while training instead? It's a terrible idea, Zolnikov thought. Their run club agreed it was a terrible idea. We should never do anything like that, they said. But 2 years later, the joke hadn't died, so fellow ultra runner Jason Romero held Zolnikov's feet to the griddle. I'm tired of just talking about this thing. We need to do it. Zolnikov obliged. He drafted rules drawn from famed ultras like the Hard Rock 100, in which the direction changes from counterclockwise to clockwise every year, and the Barkley Marathons, which requires competitors to tear out pages from Planet books along the way. The Taco Bell 50K asked for wrappers and receipts instead. While registration is free, entrants must shell out for their own oily orders, right next to more sane, less sweaty customers. That first year in 2018, 7 people showed up. 5 survived, quote unquote.
Oh,
2
wow.
finishers had never run an ultra, and one of them, Romero, was blind. He's blind? He's running marathons and eating Taco Bell at the same time?
How do you do that?
I don't know. Mind over matter, I suppose.
Does he run with a stick?
Or he has a lead. Maybe he has a lead dog. Mush. Do
you know what is the funniest thing about those ultra runners to me? They have to tape their nipples under their shirts. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely.
There's some prep.
All right. Yeah, there's some folks that I've long thought there's some folks that want their politics to be like, I've been running through the race of life forever. I have chapped nipples. Somebody from the government put some balm on these raw
Chapped
things.
nipples, no big toenails.
Anyway, this seems fun, but also really, they're right. Really, really stupid. But hundreds of people participated last year. And this year, thanks to a few viral TikToks, about 1,200 chalupa chasers across 40 states have RSVP'd. I know it's not, but chalupa chasers kind of sounds racist. The origin is just that. It was a spur of the moment. What do we do this thing? And then naturally it snowballed into, we have to do this thing. And now it's turned into the tsunami and force of nature. And it's going through like all sorts of folks like running for this thing. One's a very attractive woman. My God. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. She's in perfect shape. And she's eating all that Taco Bell and running. I don't know about that. Weird.
I don't know.
Anyway. Did you also hear who Harvard hired?
I heard that Freudian slip. Yes, because I did read the name.
LaWhore Vagistan. And it's definitely a dude in a dress.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of that, I have a clip. You know this Sheriff Grady in Florida or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw this one. But this, in particular, one of the officers, black dude right behind the sheriff.
Oh, I'm trying not to laugh.
He's
at him.
trying not to laugh at what the sheriff is laying down. This is classic Sheriff Grady Judd out of Florida. I can't remember the exact county. But let's just watch what the sheriff's laying.
There's things in life you just can't believe.
Yeah.
So you order up a prostitute, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
This prostitute lives with his mother, by the way.
Oh.
He's got a massive
Man.
criminal history.
Oh, no.
That's a male prostitute.
Who lives with his mother.
Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, I like my male prostitutes financially independent, all right?
Come on, at least.
Don't be still living at home with mom.
31-year criminal history
Wow.
with 31 criminal charges. So you order up a prostitute.
Yep.
And that's what you think you're getting.
Okay, already I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
Oh, that's what they think they're getting,
That's
and
what
then
they
they get
think
this
they're
other guy.
And then
Oh
let's
my
see,
gosh.
let's see the full reveal here.
Now, when you look at that, you go, "Wow, that's pretty rough." But any port in a storm.
But he's about to do the big reveal.
And then the next morning, when you wake up,
Oh no!
you find out this is who it really is.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we call that coyote ugly. You see, he's laying on your arm in bed. You go, "Well, it was rough last night, but I've sobered up. I think I'll just chew my arm off and ease away so I don't disturb him or wake him up." All right, so you think you're buying this, you're getting this. He's got 31 criminal charges, and heck, if you're lucky, he doesn't kill you overnight.
Oh my gosh. What have we come to?
That's crazy. But it's true. So careful. You might order yourself up a prostitute and it ends up being a dude who has quite a rap sheet. Bless you.
Excuse me. That
What is wrong with this world of ours? Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, it's Bo Holt.
Hey, Bo. How you doing?
Yeah, that's like some one Bangkok type stuff there, but to tell you that I don't get to call in hardly at all anymore, but I'm listening, and I have to tell you O'Doyle rules every now and then to keep you on your toes.
O'Doyle rules.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to call
But,
in as soon as we get into the lady boy segment. What is that?
I don't get the call very often, so I got to call when the getting's good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Y'all take it easy, buddy. Good to talk to you.
Good to hear from you, Bo. Bo Holt, folks. I haven't heard from him in a second. O'Doyle rules. Actually, I got a feeling you and your whole family are going down, O'Doyle. Let's hit this final break. First, though, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And at Dillon Rings, they are a full-service jewelry shop. That means not only do they have an amazing inventory and selection there, and as well as Josh Ryder's true talent. The custom design work he can do for people is just second to none. Truly an artist. And if you're looking for custom design jewelry, go see Josh Ryder there at Dillon Rings. Of course, though, maybe you've got jewelry you already love, you wear all the time. It's your regular part of your regular uniform, let's say, for the day. And it looks like it. Like you've been wearing it, that ring, that necklace, whatever, for years. What if that thing you love that you wear every day could shine and shimmer like it's brand new again? They can do that for you there with a spa treatment at Dillon Rings. They can do all sorts of repairs, including watch repairs and battery replacement on watches. They do appraisals. They buy old jewelry off you. They do it all. Like I said, full service jewelry shop. So get by 119 Brown Springs Road, just off of Atlanta Highway here in Montgomery. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Dinner at Epicure isn't just dinner, it's an experience. The best steaks in the Southeast, guaranteed. The Brazilian flap steak, you won't find anything to compare. And if seafood's your thing, the hand-breaded shrimp, triggerfish, and American farm-raised catfish are as fresh as it gets. And pasta, let's just say this isn't your garden variety pasta. It's Epicure, flavorful, fresh, and unforgettable. An extensive wine list, 58 beers on tap, and pick 2 dinners for just $52.99. Epicure, Tuesday through Friday, 4 till 9. Taste the difference.
Can you hear the squeals and smell the corn dogs and funnel cakes? The 11 best days of fall are almost here. The Alabama National Fair. News Talk 93.1 WACV has your fair tickets. Listen for your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Alabama National Fair, coming to the Garrett Coliseum October 3rd through the 13th. It's the 11 best days of fall. The Alabama National Fair from News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Big news! Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital has a new name. But don't worry, everything you love is still the same. Now they're Pike Road Animal Hospital, still at 5148 Troy Highway, still the same great team you've trusted for years. Same friendly faces, same expert care, just a new name, and still offering boarding, grooming, and doggy daycare. Pike Road Animal Hospital, formerly Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital. New name, same heart. Compassion you know, care that you trust.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones. Talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Man, I am great. How about you guys?
Life's good. Life's pretty good.
Yeah, waiting on our grandbaby to get here.
Ooh, nice.
Emma calls, we load the car up, and then as I'm loading the car up, Angie hollers out, never mind, he's just wanting to talk. And I'm like, quit calling, just tell us the baby's coming.
Stop teasing me with it. We can talk after the baby's here.
I was telling her that. I said, this is the most stubborn kid ever. She's not coming out. I don't, but you know what? She's healthy, and that's all that matters, right?
Amen. That is exactly all that matters.
And I tell you what, if you are like us, you're anxious, you're ready to go, and you have any kind of flooring need whatsoever, we can make your life so much easier on your floors. Just call us at 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement.
Really is that simple, folks. 285-8117. And when you call them at 285-8117, be like, hey, I heard Ray Bowles on that radio show with that Joey Clark guy.
It's sailors blowing up Angie's phone with pictures of game day at Bama.
Oh, that's always a fun experience.
Yeah, who they play? They play in Tennessee, right?
I think so. I don't know.
Angie said Vandy.
Vandy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be all right for them. Yeah, they got better.
They'll win that game. I'm not a bettor, but I might bet on that one.
Oh, and then Auburn it's off this week, right? But we have Georgia after it.
I know. Oh, what a road. We couldn't lose those two games because Georgia's not going to be good. And I've got a cousin over there that's just going to be giving me a hard time for weeks afterwards.
Of course.
But I'm going to remind him that my daughter goes to Alabama now. I need to call him and give him a hard time about the Alabama game. I'm glad you reminded me of that.
Please do it. It'll be fun.
Hey, y'all have a great day. If you need floors, call us.
Appreciate you, Ray, as always. Thanks, sir. Again, Ray Bowles, Prattville Carpet, that number 285-8117. So, y'all have a big show coming up?
Yeah, David Blackman will be here.
Nice.
Yep.
He does it 2 days a week now?
Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays.
Nice. I'm trying to think what I'd learned today, if anything. Because, I mean, we talked about the shutdown. We talked a little bit about Israel and Gaza. My main theme of the day, though, and I've been trying to amend this because I know a lot of boomers, and I've just been giving the boomers in general, because they harassed me as a millennial, especially when I was younger. So, turnabout's fair play.
Mm-hmm.
But I've started to decide more on the political front. It's less the whole boomer generation. I think what we're witnessing in so many different ways, including like questioning the moon landing. Yeah. And I'm not even making a joke here or getting in an argument. I think what we're seeing is the death of the dying of the era of the liberal boomer.
Yeah.
So much of their institutions, so much of the stories they told about themselves and the nation, the way they would communicate with one another, it's going away. It's going away in a serious way. And like we looked at the media trust, and the folks that really trust media are Democrats 65 and above.
And that's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's sad. Even millennial Democrats our age are still about 40% trust. But it's kind of unreal. And I'm going to try to keep developing this. Like, I think what we are seeing is the dying of the era of the liberal boomer. And, y'all did some fun stuff. But you also left us with quite a mess.
Yeah, big time.
Quite a mess. So let the games continue is what I say. Let them continue. And now I'm going to get out of here because today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow is Friday.
And
I'm going to wear a costume tomorrow.
What kind of costume?
I can't tell.
Oh, man, it's a secret costume. Can you tell me off the air?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not that much.
You'll see it tomorrow.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah. Anyway, y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The blame game continues on day 2 of a government shutdown. It has both political parties pointing the other way. Republicans say that Democrats are insisting on $1.5 trillion